This video is designed to help you start a feedlot business. At the end of the video, you'll find a valuable gift. It's a feedlot business plan that you can download, and will lay down for you, step by step, everything you need to know to start a successful feedlot business of your own. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Feedlots provide living quarters for livestock raised for market. With compact facilities, a feedlot houses more animals per acre than free-range livestock production. Although convenient in terms of feeding, medical care and calving, feedlot managers face special problems that free-range livestock owners do not. Before you start a feedlot, there are conditions to meet, should you want to sell your livestock for human consumption. Check with your county zoning board for guidelines and regulations for starting a feedlot. In many areas, adjacent landowners receive notification of your proposed business, and a hearing will take place where disgruntled neighbors can protest your business. Prepare answers to the questions your neighbors are likely to ask. The main concern of most residents is the smell of the feedlot, and the impact of livestock waste on the quality of the water supply. If you can present viable assurances at the hearing, you may receive your zoning permit. Purchase the equipment you need to maintain the facility. A tractor or skid steer with a front bucket is imperative for scooping and removing waste. Tank heaters will keep water from freezing if your feedlot is in a cold climate, and you'll need to erect loading chutes for transportation. Plan adequate room for the livestock, and separate pens where you can transfer the animals, while one pen is undergoing cleaning. Livestock create a lot of waste, and your facility will undergo inspection on a regular basis if you are selling the animals for market. It's nearly impossible to clean a pen with the livestock still inside, so a series of connected pens allows easy movement of the cattle. Provide adequate feeding and watering stations for the cattle. Your end profit is a result of livestock that weigh on the heavy side, since you will sell them by the pound. Consider your water and feed sources. If you have sufficient land, you can grow your own hay and grains for the livestock. Purchasing them is more expensive, and in an area where hay and feed are scarce, the cost may be prohibitive. In addition, secure a means of watering before you put up the pens. Without water, your cattle will not survive. A seasonal stream is inadequate and wells go dry. File your business name with the state in which you reside, and file your farm business with your local farm agency. As regulations become stricter on feedlots, fewer new ones receive approval. Check your livestock daily for illness. At the first sign of a problem, separate the animal from the rest of the stock and call in your veterinarian. Be prepared to be on call 24 hours a day to begin with. Operating a successful feedlot means you must be in close proximity to the animals at all times, or you must hire someone who is. Assess competitors. Long before you open a feedlot business in your town, it's essential to find out what the competition looks like. How are you going to successfully compete with existing firms? It's important that you never underestimate the competition. Why you should buy a cattle feedlots business? It's no secret that entrepreneurs have a strong impulse to build companies from the ground up. But from a business and financial perspective, it may make more sense to leverage an existing feedlot business as your vehicle for world domination. Existing feedlot businesses are proven operations with dependable revenue streams. And that's not to mention the fact that a purchase lets you avoid the trial and error mistakes that are common in startups. Don't rule out franchising. Recognize that your chances of growing your business are substantially improved if you decide to franchise, and leverage their successful brand and track record. If you are thinking about opening a feedlot business, you may want to investigate whether franchise opportunities in your space might be the right move for you. In temperate climates, both indoor and outdoor feedlots typically have barns for handling and processing cattle, known as processing barns. The barns contain pens and handling equipment such as holding pens, a crowd tub and curved or straight chute, that leads to a squeeze chute, where the cattle can be restrained to receive vaccinations or other medical treatments. The barn can be completely or partially closed, which is more for the comfort of the feedlot staff than the animals. In tropical climates, barns are not as common and usually only consist of the handling components of the facility, such as the crowd pen, chutes, and squeeze chutes. European feedlots have minimal handling equipment or infrastructure, such as central handling alleys, which makes handling a welfare issue for both the cattle and the stock attendants. The next part of the video is not specific to the feedlot business. Nevertheless, this knowledge is essential for success in the feedlot business, as well as in any other business. Ignore it at your own peril. Operating a successful feedlot business will depend on the following 4 conventions. 1. A practical plan, with a solid foundation. 2. Dedication, and willingness to sacrifice, to reach your goal. 3. Technical skills. 4. Basic knowledge of management, finance, record keeping and market analysis. As a new owner, you will need to master these skills and techniques if your business is to be successful. Finding a niche. Small businesses range in size from a manufacturer, with many employees, and millions of dollars in equipment, to the lone window washer, with a bucket and a sponge. Obviously, the knowledge and skills, required for these two extremes, are far apart, but for success they have one thing in common. Each has found a business niche, and is filling it. The most critical problems you will face, in your early planning, will be to find your niche, and determine the feasibility of your idea. Get into the right business at the right time, is very good advice, but following that advice may be difficult. Many entrepreneurs plunge into a business venture, so blinded by the dream, that they fail to thoroughly evaluate its potential. Is your business idea feasible? Before you invest time, effort, and money, the following exercise will help you separate sound ideas from those bearing a high potential for failure. Identify and briefly describe the business you plan to start. Identify the product or service you plan to sell. Answering yes to any of the following 3 questions means you are on the right track. A negative answer to all of them means the road ahead could be rough. 1. Does your product or service satisfy an unfilled need? 2. Will your product or service serve an existing market in which demand exceeds supply? 3. Will your product or service be competitive based on its quality, selection, price, or location? Market analysis. For a small business to be successful, the owner must know the market. To learn the market, you must analyze it, a process that takes time and effort. You don't have to be a trained statistician to analyze the marketplace, nor does the analysis have to be costly. Analyzing the market is a way to gather facts about potential customers, and to determine the demand for your product or service. The more information you gather, the greater your chances of capturing a segment of the market. Know the market before investing your time and money in any business venture. The following questions will help you collect the information necessary to analyze your market, and determine if your product or service will sell. This brief exercise will give you a good idea of the kind of market planning you need to do. An answer of no to any of the questions indicates a weakness in your plan, so do your research until you can answer each question with a yes. 1. Do you know who your customers will be? 2. Do you understand their needs and desires? 3. Do you know where they live? 4. Will you be offering the kind of products or services that they will buy? 5. Will your prices be competitive in quality and value? 6. Will your promotional program be effective? 7. Do you understand how your business compares with your competitors? 8. Will your business be conveniently located for the people you plan to serve? 9. Will there be adequate parking facilities for the people you plan to serve? Planning your startup. The following questions are grouped according to function. They are designed to help you prepare for opening day. Merchandise. Have you decided what items you will sell or produce, or what services you will provide? Have you made a merchandise plan, based upon estimated sales, to determine the amount of inventory you will need to control purchases? Have you found reliable suppliers, who will assist you in the startup? Have you compared the prices, quality, and credit terms of suppliers? Business records. Are you prepared to maintain complete records of sales, income and expenses, accounts payable, and receivables? Have you determined how to handle payroll records, tax reports, and payments? Do you know what financial reports should be prepared, and how to prepare them? Finances. A large number of small businesses fail each year. There are a number of reasons for these failures, but one of the main reasons is insufficient funds. Too many entrepreneurs try to start and operate a business without sufficient capital, money. To avoid this dilemma, you can review your situation by analyzing the following 3 questions. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much money will you need to start your business? 3. How much money will you need to stay in business? In order to answer the second question, how much money will you need to start your business? You need to prepare an estimate of all your startup costs. Here is a list of items you may need to take into account. Note that this list is for a retail business. Items will vary for service, construction, manufacturing or online firms. Decorating and remodeling, fixtures and equipment, installing fixtures and equipment, services and supplies, beginning inventory cost, legal, professional fees, licenses and permits, telephone utility deposits, insurance, signs, advertising for opening, unanticipated expenses. Now, the answer to the third question, how much money will you need to stay in business? Must be divided into two parts, immediate costs, and future costs. From the moment the door to your new business opens, a certain amount of income may come in. However, this income should not be projected in your operating expenses. You will need enough money available to cover costs for at least the first 3 months of operation. The following list will help you project your operating expenses on a monthly basis. Typical expenses for 1 month may include your living costs, employee wages, rent, advertising, supplies, utilities, insurance, taxes, maintenance, delivery, transportation, miscellaneous. Now sum up the total estimated monthly expenses, and multiply it by 3. This is the amount of cash you will need to cover operating expenses for 3 months. Deposit this amount in a savings account before opening your business. Use it only for those purposes listed in the above list, because this money will ensure that you will be able to continue in business during the crucial early stages. By adding the total startup costs to the total expenses for 3 months, you can learn what the estimated costs will be to start and operate your business for 3 months. By subtracting the totals of the lists from the cash available, you can determine the amount of additional financing you may need, if any. Now you will need to estimate your operating expenses for the first year after startup. The first step in determining your annual expenses is to estimate your sales volume, month by month. Next, determine the cost of sales. You may want to use a spreadsheet to do this. After startup, the primary source of revenue in your business will be from sales, but your sales will vary from month to month because of seasonal patterns and other factors. It is important to determine if your monthly sales will produce enough income to pay each month's bills. An estimated cash flow projection will show if the monthly cash balance is going to be subject to such factors as the following: failure to recognize seasonal trends, excessive cash taken from the business for living expenses, too rapid expansion, and slow collection of accounts if credit is extended to customers. Conclusion: if you have carefully answered all the questions in this video, you have seriously thought about your goal. However, there may be some things you may feel you need to know more about. Owning and running a feedlot business is a continuous learning process. Research your idea, and do as much as you can, yourself, but don't hesitate to seek help from people who can tell you what you need to know. As we conclude this video, it's time you get your free Feedlot business plan gift. Go to the description below this video to get it now. It is completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.